Initiating moisture.
Welcome to the Moist Meter. Call of Duty is a franchise name that's been inducing vomit in the mouths of men and women everywhere for the better part of the last decade. The games they've been pumping out have just been absolute dog shit, truly atrocious. However, kids still very much enjoy them. They still send kids to bed with wet dreams with them imagining the next Call of Duty title, and then those parents of those children have nightmares about all the money they lose when it comes out. So they've been financially successful. They still do really well, so they keep pumping that shit out. I wasn't excited for the newest one, which is Black Ops 4, until I played the beta for its Battle Royale mode and was blown away. But how is the full release? Is the full release good? Is it worth it? Yeah, it's pretty fucking good. And the best part about Black Ops 4 is they just got rid of the campaign. Some brave hero, some brave warrior stood up in the Activision headquarters and said, you know what? Enough is enough. Our campaigns suck, asshole. Why are we doing this? No one likes them. And then they all applauded and said, you know what? Harrison's right. We're getting rid of this shit. The Call of Duty campaigns have been a joke for the last 8 years. A fucking horrible joke, a B-movie joke, a Tommy Wiseau joke, a fucking joke that they got tired of telling. Eventually they said, you know what, we're tired of telling the same joke, let's get rid of it. And I'm so happy they did, because this game is so much better because it doesn't have a bad campaign tacked on. So Black Ops 4 only has the multiplayer game modes. It has zombies, Battle Royale, which is the Blackout mode, and then the standard multiplayer everyone's used to. Zombies is great. They made some questionable decisions like removing Juggernaut, but overall, it's still a very good zombie experience that you've come to know and love from Treyarch. Really well done, and I have no complaints there, except for maybe taking out a couple of things that I don't quite understand the reason for. The multiplayer, which is the standard competitive multiplayer you're used to from COD franchise, is good. I'm not personally a huge fan of the formula, but it's functional. It works well. It does what it aims to do. It's like a condom. You know what you're getting when you put it on, and it's safe. There's nothing that's going to blow you away. There's nothing that's going to have your jaw on the floor with your testicles right next to it by how good it is. But it's safe. It's normal. It's what you'd expect. So there's no complaints there from me either. It's not personally my taste, but I can recognize it is objectively well executed. It's clean. The biggest complaint with multiplayer is the spawns. The spawns are objectively awful. I've seen 3 play the games where a guy gets a kill, dies, and then gets another kill or a kill after that. So he was able to die and spawn next to enemies. That's a clear problem with the spawning system. That shit needs to be reworked. You can't be having an elite gaming specimen spawning next to some Boy Scouts that didn't even expect them there. So it's a little broken with the spawns, but everything else is pretty clean. Now the biggest thing with Black Ops 4 is its Battle Royale mode, Blackout. That is what I was most excited for after playing the beta, and it almost hurts me to say, but the game's Battle Royale is just so fucking good. I've never enjoyed Call of Duty quite like I have the last week or so of me playing this one. It's just so fucking fun. The Blackout mode is excellent, absolutely excellent. Now, let me talk about the problems I have with the mode though, because there are some shortcomings. The sound. The sound in Blackout is horrible. It's deceptive. You have no idea where shots are coming from. It'll sound like there's a guy shooting in the bathroom right next to you in the house, but it turns out that guy was shooting across the map at a helicopter. The sound echoes everywhere, and you can never deduce the genesis of where the sound is. You can never tell where it's coming from. It's like you're stuck in like a fucking echo chamber, and you just can't figure out where it is. It's really frustrating trying to use sound to pinpoint enemies. It's very inaccurate. So that's my biggest complaint with it. Another problem I have is I think the map doesn't lend itself very well to how fast-paced the gunplay is, because it's very hard to find enemies. There's so much foliage, so many trees, and there's not a lot of verticality, so everything's flat. It makes it very hard to find enemies. The map isn't that big, which is good, but the map is so cluttered that you will never find enemies efficiently. The most kills you'll have in a game is anywhere from 3 to maybe 10 if you have a really good round. My personal best, unfortunately, is only 8, which isn't super high, but it's not bad. That's not bad, but, you know, in a game like Fortnite, you have the building to compensate for the map size, so you can build, get a better vantage point, and find people. Blackout, you don't have that, so you just have to find people on a level playing field most of the time, and that's really hard. But for some people, that's probably a plus. A lot of people may like the slower pace and the lack of finding enemies, but me, I like the faster paced games, so that's a negative in my book. Now, it's going to be hard to talk about Blackout without it being compared to Fortnite, so I'll compare it to Fortnite. I think Fortnite is a better Battle Royale game for one simple fact. You can always fight back. The positioning, let's say someone is camping near a tree that you don't see because you're playing fast paced and they see you first. In Fortnite, you get shot at, you build, you can react, you can fight back, you can outplay them. You're never going to guarantee a loss by getting outpositioned or because you're at a disadvantage. In Blackout, if someone has a better position and sees you first, you're pretty much fucked. I mean, that is, of course, unless the guy that spots you has got his soft cock in his hands with his eyes closed shooting at you. But the majority of the time, if someone sees you first and you don't see them, there is no chance of you winning that encounter. And I think just for that one simple difference between Blackout and Fortnite, where Fortnite has a mechanic that allows you to fight back even at a disadvantage, and Blackout does not. It doesn't have anything for you to fight back with. It just leaves you out there with your asshole out in the open, exposed and shit. So for me personally, I like the fact that you can always fight back in Fortnite regardless of the situation, and Blackout doesn't have that. So I think Fortnite is the better Battle Royale just for that one simple fact, where if you get good at building, you can always react and have a chance, which I always enjoy. So I do think Fortnite's the better Battle Royale, but I think Blackout is the second best Battle Royale by a wide margin. I think it is just barely worse than Fortnite because there's just one simple difference between them, but it is so fucking good that I can't recommend it enough. It is so much fun. I've been having a whole lot of fun with Black Ops 4, which I didn't expect. I didn't expect I'd ever like Call of Duty again because they've been so uninspired and shitty, but this is just so good. Let's plug this shit into the moist meter. I'm giving Black Ops 4 an 85%. It is just really good. I have so few complaints about it, and the complaints that I do have aren't game-changing. It's just there's simple things that should be tweaked and fixed that I think would make this an even better experience, but right now this is probably the best multiplayer game that's on the market. That's not free to play. It's probably the best retail AAA game out there at the moment. If you're into multiplayer games and shooters, it's definitely worth picking up. It's a lot of fucking fun. See ya.